They assemble at night, each one having prepared as diligently as possible for the time given to them before the witching hour, the hour of reckoning, the time when they begin outdoor cartoon television. Stray Casts is on the air.
Fish it out.
Humbly zibbly bumbly boobity zumbity bibbity zibbity bop. It's that time again.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday night. It's the Skit Scat Bass Fishing Show right here, straycast.net and the Facebook Live. I'm your host, Pat Renwick. It's another wing dinger of a bass fishing event.
Wing dinger.
We are on the cusp of the biggest event in bass fishing. Am I safe to say that?
Yes.
The
100%
biggest
safe.
event in bass fishing, the Bassmaster Classic. Yeah, yes, absolutely. Hey, today's show is filmed in 3D and before a live studio audience. Yes, a live studio audience. That's you. That is you. Welcome, Bass Fishing Galaxy. Hey, this dude over to my right, he is the bearded one, the boy Blunder. He is. Some people call him Gilligan.
Well, now they do it.
Now they do, apparently. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ryan Popcorn Whitaker.
All right, camera to look at. How do I still not know that? Is it that one? Or is it that one? Or is it that one?
Look at the cheerleaders.
Or is it that
Just
one?
look at the cheerleaders over
Yeah, they look good.
Yes. They
okay.
absolutely do. Hey, you know this guy over here, whether he likes it or not, he is the Lord of the Ned Rig. Ladies and gentlemen, it's JP. Hi, hey, ho, it's his birthday.
What up?
Every Wednesday is your birthday, JP.
It's great. I get no gifts, though.
But you keep aging gracefully.
I'm trying.
I give you that.
Yes.
Thank you.
The guy over here who's basically the Wizard of Oz of this entire bass fishing maniacy that we call Stray Casts Outdoor Cartoon Television. The guy that glues it together. He is our producer, Andrew Ellenberger, the Ginger Ninja. He's the Gingy Ninja. Wave to the cam, Ginge. That's you.
He showed himself.
Show me that smile again. Andy. Sir Andrew Ellenberger. That's the dude right there. Yeah. We got another big show worked up for you tonight. We have the Bassblaster himself making his trifecta appearance on the Stray Cast Show. I'll give it up for Jay Kumar. Yeah. That's our dude. Yeah. Kumar. We're going to blast up some Bassmaster Classic tonight. Coming up next.
Bassmaster Classic.
Bassmaster. Yes, sir. Coming up on spring break. He's on spring break, and he's phoning in. to the show.
From Panama City Beach.
Who knows where he could be? We're going to
where
find out. We don't even know. He could be in Saskatchewan for
Could
all
be.
we know.
Could be in Cuba.
Scott Martin coming on the show. FLW Tour superstar. Scotty Martin coming on the Straight Cast at about what time, Jen? 7:30. Scott Martin. And then after Scott Martin, one of my new favorites, I must confess,
yes.
one of my new favorites on the FLW Tour, I call him Too Smooth. He is Too Smooth. And ladies and gentlemen, John Cox coming on, 8 o'clock. John Cox, jam-packed again here on a Wednesday night. Dude, I'm stoked. I'm excited. I can't even tell you. There's bass gremlins that live in my house. There really is bass gremlins. I found a 1982 red eagle claw hook and a tungsten weight with a plastic insert that I haven't used in I don't know how many years. It was in my hoodie pocket, and some gremlin from the bass fishing galaxy put it in there. I don't know
it
what
was
to
in
do.
your washing machine.
I don't know what to do, but you know what I do know what to do? I do know that we should put on a heck of a show right here tonight on StrayCast.net and the Facebook Live. Hey, put the power poles down. We're coming back with the Bassblaster, Jay Kumar, when we return.
I was born to be gypsy. It's a life I choose.
Outrageous Outdoors is quickly becoming the industry leader in tournament fishing apparel. There's no better way to represent your sponsors than with a Outrageous jersey. At Outrageous, you can get a short sleeve, long sleeve, sweatpants, the best prices in the industry. Outrageous also offers club and team discounts, special high school and college prices. Our website is easy to navigate, and Outrageous' staff will make the process quick and easy for you. Outrageous Outdoors, offering high-quality tournament apparel for the weekend angler. Outfit yourself from head to toe. Check out Outrageous online at www.outrageous.com.
Quality, dependability, consistency, and fish-catching performance is what separates a War Eagle spinnerbait from the pack. Hand-assembled, inspected, and tested in Rogers, Arkansas, War Eagle lures are the choice of Mike McClellan, Andy Morgan, Edwin Evers, and you, the serious bass angler. War Eagle lures, when you absolutely have to catch fish. Find War Eagle lures at your local tackle store or visit wareaglelures.com today. Welcome back to Straight Cast Outdoor Cartoon Television. I'm your host, Pat Renwick. This is Ryan Popcorn Whitaker.
That's right.
Whitaker.
Hello.
Ryan Popcorn Whitaker. And back for his trifecta appearance. He's a third-time veteran of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, give us a Bass Fishing Galaxy loud round of applause for our buddy, the Bassblaster, Jay Kumar. Woo! Yeah! That's Jay Kumar. Yeah. He's wheeling in a
What's
dealing.
up?
His ace in the hole, so to speak. You know what I mean, Jay Kumar?
That's all I got, man. These are the most dangerous weapons I got.
Thanks for coming on. It's been a great time, man. Take care.
like-
We'll see you next time.
Looks like you have a propeller over your head. Actually, that might be more
He
dangerous.
does. It's actually giving me seizures. I'm not sure. Dude, that's outstanding.
I looked in high school, man. Check it out.
That's pretty good. That's like a beanie with one of those helicopters.
Yes.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Hey,
but yeah.
Jay, welcome back to the show, dude. I mean, it's always a pleasure to have you on. You know we are big fans of the Blaster. You know that, right?
Yeah, thank you, man. That's cool. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm big fans of you guys. Come on.
Yeah, thank you, man. I mean, we read that Bassblaster religiously. It's basically become the go-to. That is the go-to is the Bassblaster. And I steal all your stuff all the time, Jay. I steal it constantly. You know, like Keith Richards stole Chuck Berry's riffs. God rest Chuck Berry's soul.
Chuck Berry, come on, baby.
Yes.
Working for Black.
You're channeling it. You're channeling it right there. Hey, man, we're on the cusp of a very big event. We're on the cusp. I mean, it's about to happen, and you're getting ready to go down to the big Showcase Showdown, aren't you?
I am, man. I'm psyched to be warm. It's going to be 80 degrees down there. Woohoo!
Yeah. I mean, what a change. I mean, what a change. How do you feel about this whole deal about it being the third stop on the tour?
You know what? I don't know about that yet. That's just the first time. Literally in the history of bass fishing, this is the first time that the championship is not at the end where I think it should be.
Right.
Season or the beginning of the season. So it's like, I haven't even either been involved in or watched another sport where this was the case, like, I don't know what to make of it yet.
Yeah,
that part of it.
It's so weird. I mean, and you and I, we BS with a lot of the guys on the tour, and basically, there's mixed emotions on this deal, isn't there?
Oh, we are talking about bass fishermen, man.
Yeah.
Mixed emotions about everything at all times, no matter whether it's fake or real,
It's a bunch of prima donnas,
Well, no, I mean, it's just like a bunch of old ladies talking about stuff, and they get stuck in their heads, and, they may be like miles out to sea on a rumor that will never, be true. But
there's lots of BBs in the boxcar. You know what I'm saying? There's tons of that going on. But I mean, I think mixed emotions could be a way to say it. And you kind of touched on something, Jay. I wish the Classic was still at the end of the season. Ricky Clunn style. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's my personal feeling.
Well, I mean, let's look at why ESPN moved it to the beginning of the year, if you will, or the season or the winter. It was because their whole business model, which crashed and burned, was about TV, and they wanted nothing to compete with, when they aired the Classic.
Bassblaster. Yeah.
Yeah, the Classic. So they move it to February, and they're like, "Oh, it's just like NASCAR, which makes no sense either." So whatever. I mean, there was really no sound logic for moving it in the first place, in my opinion. So why not have it at the end when it's a culmination of the whole season? Can you have the Super Bowl 2 games in? And it's ridiculous.
Or the World Series after spring training?
Right. Yeah, right.
How dumb is that?
I don't see a plus. Like what could it's got to be because of the venue that they wanted. I mean, that's, that seems like the only reason that they would be doing this, because I don't see a plus. I don't see anything that would make it more desirable.
Ryan, they didn't want the season. They didn't want the boats to freeze to the trailers again.
Right.
That's the whole reason.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would agree with you, Popcorn, but the next Classic is in March, dude. So it's not like they're moving, and that's in, what is it, South Carolina? So
yeah,
it's not like they had to move it because of the Super Bowl, that was in February in Houston and all this other stuff, which I thought maybe was the case. I think they're going to have it in March, at least this one and the next one. obviously they need warmer water. They want to catch bigger fish. That's going to happen here. And my hope is that it somehow migrates back to, whatever the end of the season is now, which is used to be July or August, and now is, I don't know when it is. It goes on forever.
September, I think.
Yeah.
And the culmination of the season being the Angler of the Year Derby is kind of lame, dude, in my opinion. I mean, you win that Derby, you get
$50.
dogs. Yeah.
You get
And a hand carved trophy if
yeah,
there's a
Seth
guy
Fighter.
that'll make you one.
Thank God he got that.
And they just make the Angler of the Year like sweat, because basically the guy who goes in there leading ends up winning anyway. I think every single time now.
Yeah.
So
Right.
It's a heck of an event, Jay.
Yeah. Congratulations. You won,
Way to go. Thanks for
couple more
playing.
bucks.
Thanks for playing. Hey, let's get on to the Derby. I mean, you've heard this a million times in bass fishing. You can't win the Classic on the first day, but you can sure lose it, can't you, Jay Kumar?
oh yeah, absolutely. You win it on the second day.
Yes.
You can win it on the second day. I mean, I know that sounds stupid. You win it on the third day, but you must pick your slot, top 10, let's say, on the first day, and then you have to catch more on the second. I guess you could be below the top 10 and just light them up on the next day and move up in there. But yeah, for sure.
Well,
yeah.
and at this venue, it certainly seems like it'll be easier to come back. I mean, you're talking double-digit fish. You can make up 10 pounds on this lake in one
that's
cast.
Awesome.
In
the past classics in the winter, they'd have let me see if I can get on the screen, the compression of weights, it was like any small fish or cold water derby, the range between first and 20th might just be 5 pounds.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And in this one, between first and second might be 9 pounds. It's crazy, dude. It's awesome.
So as our buddy JP High over here would say, give us some dirt, Jay. Like, what do you know right now that you could share without naming names? Like, do you know for a fact some guys are just on them? I mean, do you know this?
I know they're saying that. Some guys, it's always the same. Some guys say they're not on them. Some guys say they're on them. Some guys' fish will disappear. Some guys will get lucky. I'll say the only thing I can tell you for sure is, well, it sounds like, we'll never know until it actually goes down, but it sounds like this classic will have the greatest variety of baits thrown of possibly any recent memory classic, which is cool. I like that.
Yeah, I like the variety platter.
Yeah, I mean, you might have a swim bait this big. You might have a shaky head. You might have a drop shot. I mean, it's going to be goofy, I think. We'll see, crankbaits, of course, and stuff like that. But, we'll see. And then there's the, Keith Combs. Does Keith Combs have all the magic brush piles, or do other people have them?
Yeah, exactly. And we did learn from the Bassblaster that the spy bait will not be a crucial player in this event. We did learn that. We did.
The little tiny hooks on there.
Yeah, we learned that the spy bait will not be a player.
The twin screw submarine.
That was definitely there. Jay, I'm going to throw some names at you, okay? And just give me don't get all windy on me. Just put it through the Jay Kumar Bass computer, and then just give me a quick little response of what you think is going to go on with them at the Classic, okay?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
First one, Charlie Hartley.
Charlie Hartley, I would say, probably practiced longer than anybody else, or pre-fished, whatever you want to call it. And I would say that dude is probably have the second most number of brush piles marked to Keith Combs.
Nice.
Wow.
Mike Iaconelli.
Look, man, he's so polarizing for some people. Not for me, probably not for you. He's Mike. He's a good dude, and
Yeah, absolutely.
he's almost won there before, right? He had a fish off with Combs. He's won a Classic before. How can he not be a threat to win this thing?
Dude, Ryan and I had this discussion. We strongly feel that he might win this thing. We really do.
He's got a great record in Texas.
He does.
Just Texas in general.
He does.
He's always up there.
That's a good point. That's right.
And he shows up on the big stage. You know, if there's big fish, big stage, he shows up. He always does.
He sure does. The momentum of Ot Defoe.
Wow, that's a good one. Yeah. I would say it can't be underestimated because Ott came on the scene like Jason Christie did. Like he came on and he was winning, or he wasn't winning. He was at least crushing them, doing real well. And I think, and we've seen it before with other fishermen. They get streaky like that, So I think that's a good pick. He might do real well in this one.
He's on a good streak.
He sure is. Stan Jablonski.
That's awesome, man.
What do you think?
I used to get ice cream at a place called Jablonski's down at the shore.
Yeah, and we buy Polish sausages from a guy named Stan Jablonski. So he's my dark horse. He's my dark horse. Yeah, he's my dark horse. The Jablonskis.
That's a really dark horse.
Yeah, super dark horse. Greg Hackney, dude. Greg Hackney.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this. He developed a jig, the heavy cover jig, for Strike King this is one of the scenarios in mind that he had, brush piles. Like, if he finds the bass, they are coming in the boat. That's all I'm saying.
That's him.
That's it.
He's skunk aping them right into the boat.
They're coming in the boat quick.
He is. He is. Hey, Jay, let's play a bass fishing talk show game, a game show.
As long as it's not trivia.
It's not trivia. This is called the Bassmaster Classic Match Game. Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Welcome to the Bassmaster Classic Match Game with Bassblaster Jay Kumar. I'm your host, Pat Renwick. Right now, Jay, I'm going to say some words to you, and you relate them to the Bassmaster Classic, okay? The first word to you, Jay Kumar, slippery when wet. Slippery when wet.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's the launch ramp dock in the morning.
Launch ramp dock in the morning. Very good. But I was looking for who's the guy that Jim Bitter. Jim Bitter was it was slippery when wet.
All
okay.
Right.
Are you mind melding? Are we feeling it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It has to be the. Okay, I got it.
Okay. I mean something with the classic. Okay. But you got
right
it.
Answer though, is that what you're telling me? Like the right answer was Jim Bitter on that one?
We don't even know.
Well,
we have no idea.
I wasn't getting that from that one.
Yeah, I did. I did.
Don't feel
you
bad.
guys are both wrong. Okay.
One answer is my Ace Frehley Hot Wheels car. Right
yes.
there.
Yes.
That is the right answer.
That is the right answer right there. Jay comes out of nowhere with that one. Honeybee.
Honeybee.
Yes.
Who used that? Was that Clun?
That was Clun. Yes, he got it right. Rick Clun. Unpegged.
Oh my gosh. I mean, is this a classic history thing? I don't know.
Kinda, yeah, kinda. That's what I'm uncertain about this. I'm feeling
whatever you can do to relate.
I'm
these
feeling
to the
very
classic
awkward
will
right
be
now.
Just fine.
Unpegged. Relate to a past classic.
I don't know.
Denny Brower's flipping tube when he flipped it unpegged. I'm getting crazy, dude. I'm getting wild.
I will say that probably no one will flip a tube in this classic.
Okay,
No.
we're taking that. Glory hole. The word is glory hole. Jay Kumar.
Glory hole. Who used that? Darn it, I know that one. That wasn't Skeet, was it?
Well, probably Skeet, but not like this, I mean, but who used it as the term for the glory hole or the promised land that he found when he won that Bassmaster Classic?
Who did?
Mike Iaconelli. He found the glory hole.
Heart.
He found the heart, yeah. The sound always reminds us. The sound always reminds us.
The sound?
The sound always reminds us.
Was there a classic on a sound?
Yes, it was. It was Brian Kerschel's fish whistle, sir. Brian Kerschel's fish whistle.
Oh my gosh! I was thinking about like a sound, like Pamlico sound or something.
Oh yeah, like
That's what I was thinking.
Puget sound.
Yeah.
The French joint.
Puget.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Man, you got me on these. I don't know, man.
That's when Cliff Pace won the Classic. No, I forgot about that one. That's the Cliff Pace fact.
I'm not getting any of these
That's
either,
the
man.
well, you guys aren't supposed
the
to
hell
get
are you
them. This is
doing?
all in my mind. So I this went horribly wrong.
Do we have a picture of Cliff Pace when he won the Classic holding the trophy on stage? That was so money. That was hilarious.
Gosh, we should have had that to put up. Hey, how much tackle's going to be sold because of this Bassmaster Classic? Guess a number. Put a number on it.
Because of the class, you mean like the winning bait or just in general?
In general, like what kind of a revenue generator is the Bassmaster Classic in the fishing tackle industry?
Massive.
Massive, dude, right? You can't even put a number on it, can you?
No, like, look, there are two places that the tackle companies introduce lures. One is the ICAST trade show in July, and the other one is the Bassmaster Classic. And when you go to the ICAST trade show, it's all about bass fishing, well, mostly about bass fishing and the Elite Series. I mean, of course, we're talking about just the Classic, but the Classic, is the pinnacle of that. But I will say, did I say it in the last? Maybe it's this blaster coming out tomorrow. There are going to be a lot. You know how in the past where a guy would win a Classic, right?
Yes.
And they would say, "Oh, I won it on a prototype bait," and you knew that means it was somebody else's bait. And they were going to come out with something similar.
Yeah.
Right.
Video, they can't get away with that. So there are a ton of legit prototype baits in this Classic, no doubt.
Gotcha. Okay.
Really?
See what comes out.
Who knows what shall unfold?
I like how you said it. Who knows? Who knows?
Cool. That's what it is right there. Jay, hey, thank you so much, dude. This has been a short, That's it. This has been a short but sweet interview.
I'm gonna give you one more ace on the Hot Wheels. You see that?
Dude, that is so great. That is excellent right there.
It was awesome.
I love it. I love it. Jay, thank you so much again, man. And we really appreciate your support, coming on this show and as well as on the Blaster, dude. I'm not going to kid you, man. You're a big deal.
That's ridiculous, but no problem, man.
No, it's not ridiculous. It's the fact. The truth is stranger than fiction, Jay Kumar. We must realize that. And safe travels. Have a great time at the Bassmaster Classic, and text me some goofy behind-the-scene pictures, would you?
I will, man.
All
Thank
right.
you guys for having me.
Ladies
Thanks,
and
man.
gentlemen, Jay Kumar, check him out, Bassblaster, bassgold.com. If you're not subscribed to the Bassblaster email blast,
Do it.
better be now. Jay, peace, dude.
See you
Rock
guys.
on. Hey, put the power poles down when we get back. We're coming at you with Scott Martin live from spring break. Uno momento.
I'm John DeMay with M Jigs. Today, I'd like to share with you a little bit about a couple products that we have in our lineup that we're really excited about. The first product I'd like to talk to you about today is the Joe Football Head Jig. Right out of the package, you'll notice that our football head jig is different than most on the market. What makes our jigs different is the quality of components. Let's start with the hook. These hooks are custom made for us in Japan. 90-degree bend, black nickel hooks, razor sharp, JDM quality. All of our Joe Football Head jigs have living rubber skirts. They're hand tied with copper wire to ensure that they stay affixed, and it also helps them to flare while they're in the water. We powder paint and heat cure each jig to ensure that the paint stays on your jig even when you're fishing rock. Another feature that separates our jig from other jigs on the market is the screw lock keeper. The screw lock keeper does a couple things for you. Not only does it keep your bait affixed, it'll save you money on soft plastics that pull off of standard barb keepers. The second product I'd like to talk to you about is our hybrid flip and swim jig. We also have a custom hook in our flip and swim jig. It's a 4/0 30-degree bend black nickel hook. It has the same durable paint, the same great keeper, and a hand-tied silicone skirt to complete it. So if you're looking for a premium product that's going to give you an edge over your competition, look us up at demjigs.com.
PH Custom Lures by Phil Hunt are quickly becoming the most sought-after custom balsa baits in the industry, from the Little Hunter to the Squeaky P. These baits are pure quality, handcrafted, hand-carved, and hand-painted. But most importantly, they flat-out catch fish. PH Custom Lures has a bait for any situation in a magnitude of colors. Check out the Old School, Straighter, and PH Custom series at phcustomlures.com. That's phcustomlures.com.
I was born a fishing gypsy. It's a life I choose. People tell me I'm one-track minded, but that's what I am. There ain't no other way I know. It's what I do.
Welcome back to Stray Cast Outdoor Cartoon Television. I'm your host, Pat Renwick. Ryan Popcorn Whitaker, right here to my right, and right now we are pretty stoked to have this dude taking some time out of his busy life to come hang out with us knuckleheads. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Scott Martin. Yeah.
What's up? What's up?
What
How
up?
you doing, guys? What up?
What's going on, Scott?
Well, I'm doing a little vacation with the family. We're over here in Sarasota at a friend's place, and just enjoying a little bit of downtime. I haven't had much of it so far this year. We've been on the road traveling and filming just about every single day, so it feels good to kind of put the fishing rods up for just a short bit and relax a little bit.
Nice. You're doing a little West Coast strutting, so to speak.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got
Absolutely. West coast of Florida. That's
yeah,
right.
absolutely, man. Hey, first off, man, coming at us from spring break, I appreciate you taking the time to do this. I want to get that off of the cuff right away, dude, because I know you made this happen, and we do appreciate that. But
Oh, yeah, no problem.
TV star, he's a YouTube star. He's won about $3 million. He's been he's a Forest Wood Cup champion. He's a FLW AOY. 18 years as a pro. That's pretty cool, dude. And everybody knows that about Scott Martin. I mean, we do. But you know what I don't know about Scott Martin?
What's that?
I don't know about growing up Scott Martin. That's what I don't know. We're going to entitle this episode "Growing Up Scott Martin." Okay.
I like it.
I
I need to do a YouTube video on that.
Growing up
That's pretty
Scott
good.
Martin, yes, and make sure
Yeah.
I just trademarked it, so you have to give me credit. You got to give Pat Renwick credit on that, Scott.
I'll tag you in it. No
Thank
problem.
you very much. I appreciate that. But I mean, dude, it's everybody knows that you're Roland's boy, dude, and you've certainly made your own name, and with all due respect, you may have surpassed at this day and age your father's popularity. Which is a pretty cool deal,
It's a tall order.
It's a very tall order. Those are tall shoes to fill, right there. But I just want to know what it's like to grow up Scott Martin. I mean, when did you first turn into a bass fishing freak, Scott?
Well, the story goes when I was about 2 years old, maybe even a little younger than that. My dad took me out shiner fishing, and the big bass hit this shiner, and he handed me this big giant rod with big Abu Garcia, one of those big 6,500s, the big gigantic reels.
Yeah.
Back in those big round reels, And at little less than 2 years old, he handed me the rod and just sat back and watched. And I reeled that thing all the way into the boat and got it to the side of the boat, and it was about 8 or 9 pound bass, and he just let me try to get it in the boat. So I just drug the whole rod and drug the fish up into the boat, just like the most unorthodox way is, imagine a toddler basically dragging this fish over the gunnel of the boat, and it fell down on the floor of the boat and flopped around everywhere. And I started screaming and crying, and it was the most terrifying thing ever. And my dad thought for a minute that it might have just ruined me from bass fishing because this thing finned me in the leg. It was tail slapping me everywhere. And he laughed and thought, oh, my gosh, maybe this was a bad idea. But I think it had a lasting impression on me. So, growing up, I always enjoyed fishing. We moved down to Florida when I was about 5 years old from Oklahoma. And we set our roots in the little town of Clewiston right there on the shores of Lake Okeechobee. And started building the marina, and so growing up, as a kid, I would spend my afternoons after school down at the marina with my mom. basically ran the cash register, and I'd play in the cricket box and play with all the minnows and just kind of running around like a crazy kid would do at 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, playing with all the fish in the tanks and so at an early age, I just fish were an everyday part of my life, and fishing in the outdoors. So, from there, I pretty much started getting involved in some fishing on my own at a pretty early age. At 11, 12 years old, I remember, kind of getting a little John boat and kind of putting around the little canal there in front of the marina and fishing a little bit. And then from there, I started bass fishing a little bit more and started venturing farther out in the lake at 13 and 14 years old. And then I fished my first tournament at 15. And most people would think you'd fish your first tournament with an adult. You would probably most people would fish their first tournament with an adult of some sort. And
Sure.
I didn't. I fished my first bass tournament with another friend of mine that was 14. And,
Nice.
And the tournament organization said, well, legally we can't, if you win any money, we can't give you money because you're too young, and so
There's no 1099 there, Scott.
Yeah. My mom stepped in and says, if they win any money, you just give me the money and I'll sign off on it. So
Nice.
it was my first tournament with another 14-year-old kid, a good friend of mine, Jimmy Carruthers, and we went out and we placed third. And it was funny because back then I rode skateboards and raced dirt bikes, and I looked like Joe Dirt. I had a mullet. It was crazy.
You raised some cane in Clewiston as a teenager. I know you did.
Oh yeah. We were riding swamp buggies and driving airboats at an early age, and so there I come up the stage with our first bag of tournament fish at 14 and looking like Joe Dirt, and we ended up third place in that tournament and won a couple $100. So I thought that was pretty cool, and so from there, just kind of started focusing a little bit on fishing, and I wasn't real sure what I wanted to do. Is if I wanted to get into the marina business. I've always had a kind of an entrepreneur type mentality. I always wanted to try to do something a little different and on my own. And so I was kind of back and forth on tournaments, and if I wanted to do tournaments or if I wanted to focus more on the marina side of things. And so growing up, 16, 17, 18 years old, I started fishing a little bit more tournaments and also working at the marina and guiding a little bit. I took my first guide trip at 15, taking people out on Lake Okeechobee. And from there, I just kind of started getting into the fishing a little bit more and started seeing that I really liked it and really enjoyed it. I think a lot of people, the misconception a lot of people have is that they probably think that I grew up fishing with my dad every day, probably like a lot of people have. But unfortunately with my dad, he was as busy as I am now.
Sure.
When I was a kid, and he was gone. He was gone, weeks and weeks at a time. And so believe it or not, I didn't get to fish with my dad as much as people would think, and which I think helped me. It stinks because I really would like to have a lot more memories of me and my dad going fishing. And I'm not saying we didn't go fishing, but I didn't fish with him all the time. He didn't take me out there and show me everything I need to be doing. I kind of learned it on my own, which in a way, in the long run helped me because, I started making decisions on my own at an early age on tournament fishing and how to fish and how to approach bass and read the water. And so that's how I kind of got into it.
Definitely helped you. I mean, I think there's no doubt about it that it molded you into your own angler.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do things kind of on my own, so as I kind of got into fishing, started looking at doing some tournaments and stuff. I wanted to go out and get my own sponsors and make my own contacts and do my own thing. I didn't call my dad up and said, hey, call Mercury and, see if they want to sponsor me. I didn't do any of that. I actually went to Evinrude.
Right.
So I kind of did my own. I wanted to do it my own way. I didn't want people thinking that, hey, you only have these partnerships with these companies because your dad gave them a phone call or something.
And
so
that's
and that was
I
a great
went against the grain.
You got to rebel a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It worked out. It worked out well for you.
Absolutely.
I mean, Scott, but did you have access, like as a young kid, we're talking, 10, 12 years old, you probably had access to some pretty awesome tackle though, didn't you? Did your dad leave some stuff behind in the garage?
I did. I used to go in there and, he would give me all of his broken rods and broken reels, and I'd go in there and play with them and fix them up a little bit, and glue tips on them. And, make tips out of paper clips and all kind of different things, So
Nice.
it was fun. Yeah, it was cool. A funny story though, a quick funny story was my dad went out of town for a business trip. I was about 16. He went out of town on a big business trip for about a week, and so all of his good stuff was there at the house. And he would let me take his boat out, a little bit, and I took the boat out. Well, actually, I had this old boat; it was mine. And long story short, I was running down the rim canal and I hit a wave kind of funny, and the boat kind of spun around like a 360, like a jet ski, and it threw all my dad's really good Shimano stuff out.
Oh yeah,
of
the old Bantam Magnum lights. Yep, they threw them out.
Oh yeah, they all sunk to the bottom of the lake. And tackle box. The only thing I got back was a tackle box. It floated on the top of the water. You know those old tackle boxes that had the 3 levels that would fold out different ways.
The possum bellies.
You know,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So that's the only thing I got back. But about 10 of my dad's best tournament rods are still sitting on the bottom of Lake Okeechobee somewhere. I went out there for the next 3 or 4 days with snag hooks and trying to retrieve them, and never could find them. So he wasn't real happy about that. But
did you get grounded, Scott, or no?
What's that?
Did you get grounded?
No, he didn't get too upset with me. It's like I told my kids nowadays. I said, look, if you're out using one of the boats and you're using some equipment and something happens, I'm not going to be mad at you. If you're doing something stupid, then I might be a little upset. But
sure.
As long as you're doing everything you were supposed to be doing and accidents happen, that's what I think molds you into a responsible outdoorsman.
Absolutely. Yeah. Learn it early. No doubt, as it sounds like you did. Now, I mean, I know your dad had amazing sponsors, and you already explained how you found your own sponsors, and that's great. And did you ever actually fish that helicopter lure?
Oh, I did. Another funny story. So they had the helicopter lure came out, and so a friend of mine and I were in this tournament. Art Ferguson. Art Ferguson's a longtime bass pro. He's been around forever.
Of course.
Like St. Clair.
Yep.
Art Ferguson. Everybody knows Art. So Art and I were in a team championship tournament on Lake Okeechobee in the fall, and we went out that morning, and we'd been catching them on buzz baits. And we went out that morning, and we're throwing our buzz baits in the grass, and none of the fish were biting. You could see them blowing up on shad. And we were confused on what to do because we just couldn't get them to bite our buzzbait. And Art made a comment that I have a pack of the helicopter lures here. I wonder if that would work, kind of kiddingly. And so he did have a pack in the boat, and we rigged them up. And we caught all of our fish and all of our good fish that we weighed in the course of 2 days, finished third in the tournament on the helicopter lure. Yes.
It
so
happens.
The helicopter lure really works.
Dude, I caught a 10-3 in Boca Raton, Florida on the helicopter lure.
No way.
True story.
Wow.
True story.
Oh,
story.
Yeah.
Hey, we're doing this Facebook
yeah.
Live thing, Scott, and we got some questions from some of your fans. Are you ready for a little question?
Sure.
Hey, JP, who's on the horn there?
What's up, Scott? We got first of all, it's Jeff Baffa, and he says hello.
Oh, tell him dragon grass.
And that's his
tell him
question.
Dragon grass.
He says, "Ask Scott
Yeah.
about dragon grass. What is that?"
Oh, that's funny. Jeff Baffa he is a good friend of mine. Lives up north, up around Chicago, and him and I were at Kissimmee Lake practicing for an FLW Tour tournament, and we got on this pattern where these fish were so shallow. This is the best practice I've ever had in my life. We were literally catching 20 to 25 pounds to even 30-pound bags a day in practice in different areas of the lake. Not even trying to. It was the most unbelievable thing. And Jeff would throw we were throwing like little swim baits and little horny toads and stuff. We were throwing them all the way up in this flooded cow pasture. Anywhere we found a flooded cow pasture with grass, like regular cow grass, it's all like a foot deep. We're bouncing our frogs off the back of cows.
That's awesome.
And reeling it by cows, and 5 and 6 and 7 pound bass were blowing up on them. And so we called it dragon grass. That was our code because we were dragging our baits through the grass, and it was like this weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I would have won the tournament, but a big cold front hit, dropped to 30-something degrees, and those fish left the shallows. They ended up getting a check. But if it would have stayed warm, Jeff will agree, I would have blown the tournament away. It was so shallow, you had to put your trolling motor all the way as high as you could get, and your boat would be on the bottom. Wow. And how we kept watching everybody would pull out in the afternoons. If we didn't see somebody's trolling motor jacked all the way up to the highest it could go, we knew they weren't doing what we were doing. And there wasn't anybody we saw with the trolling motor. It was high as it could go. And that was a dragon grass pattern.
The dragon grass pattern and fishing off of the cows. Did you ever go cow tipping in
dragon
Clewiston?
pasture.
No, we didn't. No, we were cow tipping now. We were bouncing our baits off the back of cows. I'm not kidding you. It was hilarious.
I used to do the same thing.
We skipped horny toes underneath cows and caught 5 pounders. It was unbelievable.
That's outstanding. JP, anything else going up on the Facebook?
We got one from Alfredo that says, "Ask God about the spinner worm."
The spinner worm. What is a spinner?
Oh, the spinner worm. Yeah, the spinner worm is we've really been focusing heavily on our YouTube channel, and my camera guy Brandon, he knows nothing about fishing, nothing at all. He's never fished until he met me. He started fishing a little bit, and so he has no idea what things are called, what colors are called, or anything. So a few videos, we kind of put Brandon on the spot, and we would say to him, "What's this called? What's this color?" And he would come up with the craziest names ever. And so he rigged up a spinnerbait one day with a gigantic trick worm, all threaded up, all crooked and twirly looking, crazy looking thing.
Wow.
Rigged it up on a big giant spinnerbait. And he's like, "I wonder if you could catch one on this." And I'm like, "What is that called?" And he goes, "Well, dude, that's called a spinner worm."
It's the spinner worm.
So it's called the spinner worm. So we took Brandon out fishing, and I made him fish with the spinner worm on film. And the first fish we caught that day was like a 5-pounder, which is personal best. We ended up winning the challenge because of the spinner worm.
That's a little hidden gem right there. The old spinning.
I think you're on to something.
The old spinner worm.
It's
Start wadding up
money.
some worms on these spinner baits.
It's the Brandon signature series, is what it is.
That's correct. Yeah, exactly.
It's coming out soon. No doubt about it. Scott, you're always doing something.
We're going to create a side link on our website for Brandon's fishing lures. Yeah, we're going to have all kind of crazy things on there.
He's going to make a few bucks. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. Scott, you're always doing something. You're always busy. You have a hectic schedule. I mean, you're a bass fishing rock star. Let's just lay it out frankly. What is a do nothing day for Scott Martin? What is just a lazy day for you? Nothing. Just laying. What is it? What do you do?
Well, it usually involves doing something with the kids, but if they're in school, a lot of times I have a lot of shows recorded. I'll watch weird things like Gold Rush and Deadliest Catch and all these crazy shows, and so I'll binge watch some of those shows until the kids get out of school, and then it's either play a little basketball with the kids or do a little fishing in the canal in front of the house or spending time with the wife. Obviously, need to do that as much as I can. So, that's what we're doing this weekend. We're up here in Sarasota doing a little bit of that. But, I don't do much hunting. I like hunting, but I just I kind of pick my poison. So I don't do a lot of hunting, and I don't do a lot of golf anymore. But I might pick up disc golf. I think Brandon's been kind of egging me on. That's my camera guy.
A little frisbee
He's really good
golf.
at disc golf. So.
Yeah,
It's fun. It's fun.
We might do some disc golf challenges here coming up soon.
Yeah, that's all right. And then what you could actually do is, as someone's throwing the disc, then you flip a jig at it and try and hit the disc to throw it off course.
That's right.
It's a whole new element.
Incorporate some skeet casting.
Are you a bass fishing fan? Do you follow professional bass fishing?
Oh yeah, I'm on all the websites, checking the updates and seeing who's doing what. I mean, it's absolutely. It's funny. People ask me, "Do you ever get tired of fishing?" And I'm on the road a lot. We fish most every day somewhere, and so there's times that I think I'm getting tired of it, for just a short bit, and then I'll take a day off, and the first thing I do is look up in the sky and look at the weather and go, "Man, I bet they're biting today," So I'm definitely ate up with it. It's it's who I am. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fish for the rest of my life.
You make quite a good living on the FLW tour. If it came about, would you ever consider fishing the Elite Series?
I go back and forth in my mind and weigh the commitment. It's not the opportunity for me; it's the commitment. Because a lot of anglers out there. I've been very fortunate with the TV show and some of the things that we're doing. That I don't approach bass fishing or any part of bass fishing as an opportunity to grow my brand. Because I feel like we've done a good job on TV and we've got the social stuff going. So I'm content with where we're at. So I look at it as, where's my time spent? So for right now, the FLW Tour is first of all a great organization.
Absolutely.
They've provided me a wonderful opportunity to make a tremendous living for my family, and Bassmasters is doing great as well. I mean, there's nothing against Bassmasters at all, but I do look at it as this aspect for me, because people ask me all the time, why don't you fish the Elite Tour? Well, if I fish the Elite Tour, that's going to add about 3 more tournaments to my schedule throughout the year, which 3 tournaments, when you break it down, each tournament is, 10 or 12 days from the time you practice and do the event and travel. That's about 12 days per event times 3. That's another month that I'm gone from home, strictly fishing tournaments. And that's a hard thing to do, to add another month to my schedule right now with everything that we're focusing on with YouTube and the TV show, and trying to keep all the sponsors happy and do all the things that I need to do for the fans. So, for now, I like where I'm at. It's a comfortable schedule. I can kind of manage all aspects of what I'm doing from the FLW Tour, and if I got on the Elite side, it might disrupt some aspect of some of the other things that I'm doing, and that bothers me or worries me a little bit. So
sure.
So
There's
for
a
now,
balance.
I'm focusing on the FLW Tour, and I just want to try to do the best I can at all the different things that we're doing.
There's a yin and a yang. You got to keep the balance, Scott. You got to keep the balance. Yeah. Hey, how many years has the Scott Martin Challenge been on?
Well, we're coming in. We're in season 13 now, which is unbelievable.
Do you have a tally? Do you have a tally, Scott? Like how many W's and how many L's is there? How many wins for you on that?
No, I need to go back through and look at them all, but I make everybody sign a contract before I have them on to make sure that they let me win. And then sometimes people break that contract, and but anyways, no, I have a winning record. I'll say that, but
I know you do.
But it's fun. Yeah, it's fun, and it's real. I mean, that's the thing. Every show we've shot, 13 years of TV shows, every show that you've ever seen on TV is the actual day of fishing. We've never said, oh, the weather's bad today, let's film again tomorrow and act like it's today. Never done any of that. We've never gone and practiced for an event or for a show. We show up and we fish, and so what you see on TV, what we catch on TV, what happens throughout the day is all exactly what happens in one day. And that's the way we've shot every single one of our shows over the years, which I like that format. It saves a little time.
Yeah.
There's other ways to shoot shows where you could go and spend 2 or 3 days in a location and wear the same clothes for 2 or 3 days and film where it looks like it's all one day. We've never done that, and we're not going to do that. So
I wear the same clothes for 2 or 3 days anyway, Scott. It doesn't matter. And you could do that now that you're on spring break, too. It doesn't matter.
That's right.
You could do it. Scott, hey, we're right up against the clock, dude. I thank you again so much. We'd love to have you on again sometime, and we can Skype you in, and
sure.
And we'll have some fun. We'll play some bass fishing game shows next time you come on.
We'll do it. We'll get the Skype going mobily, because I'm sure I'll be somewhere.
Yeah.
We'll get the computer out and hotspot it somewhere and do some Skyping or do it from my phone or whatever. So
awesome, man.
That would be could be good.
Growing up, Scott Martin. I learned a lot about you today, man. I'm glad about that.
Well, cool, man. Cool.
Hey.
Cool. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Enjoy your family, and we appreciate that you came on, Scott. So, and best of luck. Knock him out at Cumberland, okay?
All right, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Big smallmouth. I love that.
Well, it's coming at you.
It's coming at you. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Appreciate it. Y'all have a great night.
Take care. You too. Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Martin, FLW legend. That's a dude live from spring break right there.
Yeah.
That happened right there. Hey, put the power poles down. When we get back, it's the moment I've been waiting for. My buddy, John Cox.
Roaming the shallows.
He's coming right here on Straight Cast Outdoor Cartoon Television. See you in a minute.
Stank's Bait Company has been hand pouring and injecting soft plastic baits since 2009. Each bait is hand poured with you in mind, and each bait is injected with fish catching juice. They've got over 20 baits to choose from. And Stank's Bait gives you unparalleled custom colors, and they'll match the hatch of your local lake forage. Plus, they feature soft plastic custom airbrushing, and now they offer their services to you and your soft baits. So pretty you'll want to frame it. But don't, because the fish aren't going to see it on your wall, and they're not going to smell it till you get it in the water. You can find them online at stanksbaitco.com or at Tackle Warehouse, Fisherman's Central, Sportsman's Direct, and DNR Sports. Stanks Baits. Get 'em.
The swim jig technique is one of the most successful ways to put fish in the boat. Time in and time out, Brovani Baits swim jigs are just the right tool for the job. Beaming with quality, the Brovani swim jigs come in a myriad of colors, feature the best premium hooks and solid trailer keepers to give you, the serious bass angler, the confidence you need to accomplish your goal of putting more fish in the boat. So go to BrovaniBaits.com and start climbing the ladder to swim jig success.
Slayer Reel Tuning is Chicagoland's #1 reel tuning expert. Whether you need your reel tuned up, souped up, or basic maintenance, Ben Botcher, the Reel Slayer from SlayerReelTuning.com, has your reel needs covered. Ben is the official reel tuner of Stray Casts, and he can customize your reel to your exact specifications, like new ball bearings, drag washers, clean reels, and the latest and greatest handles. When it comes to reels, go to the best and contact Ben, the Reel Slayer, and get your reel tuned to perfection and back in no time. Go to the website, SlayerReelTuning.com. That's SlayerReelTuning.com.
How did you change your body? I mean, like just really working out?
Mm-hmm.
Could you take...
I did martial arts a lot and full contact karate and weights. And
Could anybody do that? Could you take these to the...
Come on, say what you really think, huh?
Could you change anybody's body with enough time? Seriously?
Sure, yeah, definitely. Yeah. It just takes determination, hard work, and an instructor. And,
Welcome back. It's Stray Cast Outdoor Cartoon Television. I'm your host, Pat Renwick. This is Ryan Popcorn Whitaker.
Hi.
Bass Fishing Galaxy? Oh, planet of bass? This is the moment you have been waiting for. We are proud to bring to you the dude, this guy, John Cox. Yeah. Woo. Yeah. John Cox. Yes. Well, welcome
What's
to,
up, John Cox?
Welcome to the big show,
Hey, guys.
dude. Welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having me back on.
Yeah, I mean, we're a big deal now since last time you were on. You know?
Real big.
Yeah. I mean,
I've been seeing everybody's been on there lately, and things look good.
you know what? We're really not a big deal, but we think we are. You know,
it's an illusion.
Yeah, it's totally a bass fishing illusion that's going on right now.
Right.
But I mean, you know, you're one of our favorites. We always talk about, like, I mean, seriously, you know, we talk amongst ourselves and we're like, yeah, remember when John Cox was on? That was awesome. You know, I mean, it's a true story. It's a true story. Yeah. We're bass fishing fans, dude.
He is a big deal.
He
like, that's true.
Yeah, like he's a legit big deal.
Big deal.
He really is. You know, we're not kissing your ass. This is the real deal.
No, I'm just like you guys. I just like going all the time.
I know, man. Hey, let's get this out of the way right away. You just came off of a derby that, in our opinion, that you should have won.
I mean, I wanted to win. I mean, but that, you know, well, honestly, it was more important to me to win that one than any one I've ever fished. I mean, I just, just. It was so emotional that whole week, fishing spots that, I fished a spot that I remember fishing with my mom when I was like 12, out there in a John boat and stuff. And then, and in places me and my buddy won a lot of tournaments out, I mean, it was just, I really wanted to win that one.
I mean, it was in your own bathtub.
Yeah, it was, it's about 30 minutes from my house. I've guided there for 10 years or so. And, it was just, I really, really wanted that one.
And you and I had a conversation the other day, and you've been going out there and totally redeeming yourself, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been going out there sticking it to him pretty hard, and I've been every day. Even you would think I would have took a day off, but Monday I got out there 7:30 and fished till dark again, and just been I mean it's crazy how that place is just putting out big fish after big fish after big fish, and then when you think they're all gone, a whole nother group of them comes in. It's just awesome place.
It's like, where do they all come from, man?
I'm telling you, I think there is a mega school that lives offshore. There's got to be. I mean, and no one's must have been able to tap into it, or they just, whatever they do, they're out there, and then all of a sudden they just come in waves, and it's incredible.
And you were fishing, like when we saw on the FLW Live, you were fishing a lot of canals, right?
Right. Yeah. I tried to stay in cleaner water and tried to sight fish. I did do some sight fishing in some of the lakes where a lot of the grass grew up and kind of cleared the water up. I caught some in there. That bite was just getting good as the tournament was going on. We were getting more main lake spawning fish right as that thing was going on till right now the main lake spawners are everywhere, And I was really, I thought, I caught the tail end of the canal spawn, and I was catching the beginning of the lake spawn. So I was kind of, I really thought it was just everything was lining up perfect.
So do they come from the main lake all the way into the canals to spawn, or do they hang out in the channel of the canal? I don't get it.
Some do, but I've got it over there a lot. And what it is when these fish come out of these lakes, the lakes are kind of dirty. It's a real like a coffee colored water.
Yes.
So when those fish come out of the main lake, they're bright white, and they'll stay bright white for about a day or so, and it's crazy how you'll find bright white ones 5 miles up the canal. That swim. I think they almost they had to swim it overnight or during the day. And they just to go spawn and then make the trip back.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's insane. I mean, it is amazing how just how much bass move in general. I mean, it's just crazy. It blows my mind.
Bunch of bounders.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Hey, I gotta ask you, if everybody says after winning Forest Wood Cup, it's a life changer. It's been a few months since you won it.
Yeah.
So tell me about how your life has changed since you won it.
I have a little bit of a savings account now.
Yeah, buddy.
And,
sure.
And I have a small retirement plan.
Okay.
And that's about all that's changed.
Really?
You live a good life.
Oh, I got a guy that mows my grass now.
Dude, that's
Nice.
awesome.
That's huge.
Big time.
That is huge. That is huge.
So now you go fishing every day. You don't have to take a day off to mow your lawn.
I do go fishing every day.
Dude, you
That's
live
true.
a good life. I mean, you really do live a good life.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm just lucky. I mean, I just, when I was younger, I just all those times I was paving and painting apartments and doing everything, cleaning floors at night. I just was hoping that one day I could do this, full time and just fish every day. And I'm loving it right now.
And here you are. Hey, yeah. So you grew up in Florida?
Yeah, I've lived here my whole life in DeBerry. I bought a house a couple miles down the street from my parents, and I'm 30 minutes from Harris, 5 minutes from the St. John's, and 40 minutes from Toho. So,
Dude,
nice.
That is awesome.
Wow.
Hey, tell us a crazy spring break Florida story from back in the day.
Oh God.
Yeah, come on.
Geez, I mean,
Don't keep it clean.
no. My kids are still awake.
Oh, sorry. Go to bed, kids.
Yeah.
Give us the dirt.
It's 10 o'clock in
No,
Florida.
I can't think of any crazy ones. I mean, I know we skipped a lot of baseball practice and went to the beach a few times during
course you
spring
did.
break, and it was just we were all sick, the whole team, but
Can't come in today, coach.
no, yeah, we can't. I mean, we'd miss it for that, and then a lot of us fish, so every once in a while there'd be a Saturday where we'd have to forfeit because none of us would show up.
You're feeling a little green, weren't you?
They're spawning,
yeah.
Coach. Sorry.
Yeah.
Feeling a little green. Hey, we noticed that you've been busting out that sissy stick a little bit lately. Why you been doing that?
Because I want to get paid and I want to make that cut, and it just
Tell him.
I'm telling you, it seems. I mean, I'm not no expert at it, and I really don't have many baits that I throw on it. But boy, I mean, if I can see those fish before they can see me, I seem like I can catch them on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, when you were on the Harris chain there, when you were using the spinning rod, you were using like a braid to a fluoro.
Right. Yeah. And I've also been experimenting a lot with just straight braid, some of that lighter, that 8-pound braid, and actually how it's cutting through the grass really easy, and it's a lot stronger than we give it credit for, you know. And actually, I've started building a 7.3 spinning rod, and I'm actually, you know, it's got a little more backbone, and when I'm getting those fish in those lily pads and stuff, that 8 and 10-pound braid's actually cutting through the pad stems and letting the fish get out in the open water, and it is pretty neat. Like I'm excited of, you know, kind of some of the stuff I've been. It's just crazy how much you think there's nothing to a spinning rod. You know, you throw a shaky head out there and drag it, you know, down the bank or whatever. But man, I'm telling you, there's a lot to it.
Yeah, no doubt. And we even saw it. I mean, there's a lot more Florida guys that are starting to bring out the sissy sticks. We even saw it on the elite event, on the Bassmaster elite events on Okeechobee.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a way to catch them, you know, pressured fish. And you know, if you can catch a 4 to 5 pound smallmouth on it, you can catch a 10-pound largemouth on it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, so it's just, and I mean, just like the other day, I went canoeing yesterday.
Nice.
And I caught one that was 8 or 9 pounds on my spinning rod with 8-pound braid and about 1.5 foot of water, and it was like pulling the canoe around and everything.
That's awesome.
It was incredible. We had it all set up. We had 3 GoPros rolling, and when we got in to check them, 2 of them already went dead, and the other one, my buddy never turned it on. We missed the whole thing.
Oh man,
I was so upset.
Yeah. My life hasn't changed very much. By the way, yesterday I went canoeing and caught a 9-pounder on a
He
spinning
is a
rod.
big deal, this guy. That's what I'm saying.
Just doing what you want. It's awesome.
Yeah.
We do this. We do this thing on our straightcast.net, John, as well as on the Facebook Live, and we have some questions for you from some of your fans on the Facebook Live. JP, what's going on over there?
We got Brad G wants to know your favorite shallow water bait, or what is the most underutilized shallow water bait?
Oh man, my favorite one is a jig. I mean, I love throwing a jig. You know, everywhere I go, I seem to can catch them on it, and you know, I guess I don't know, underutilized. I know, for instance, a Senko. I don't throw it enough, but when I do throw it, I end up catching them on that thing, you know, and it's, you know, I think that's one that everybody tries to stay away from because it's like, oh man, it's an old man lure. And
it's not fun.
I've had plenty of old men whoop my butt on that thing, so I'm not afraid to throw it no more.
No doubt.
It's definitely not the funnest bait to throw.
But he catches them everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Larry Nixon told us that, too. If you're not throwing a Senko, you're stupid.
Mark Davis said the same thing.
Yeah, he did.
Up.
What else going on, JP? Anybody else got some questions for John?
He had a follow-up to that question. He wants to know, what's your favorite cocktail after a day of fishing?
Oh man, you know, you know, I just I usually, you know, some people drink to go to sleep, and some people smoke to go to sleep, and some people take NyQuil, and I most of the time I just drink me a Slurpee before I go to bed.
Yeah, buddy. He's got the. You ever do the jungle mix Slurpee? It's like where you put a little Mountain Dew, a little Coke, a little of the cherry in there, all together. You know,
that's called suicide.
I'm not that brave on that.
No, that's the jungle mix. That's how you got to do it. That's how you got to do it. Hey, you watch Cops before? You know that series Cops? Yeah, I mean, we all love that show. You know, it's like it seems that like whenever they're in Florida, whenever they're in Florida, it seems like those people are acting pretty stupid there.
Right. There's a lot of that going on.
Yeah, but it seems like Florida bass are a lot smarter than the Florida residents that you see on that show Cops. Is it true that Florida bass are smarter than northern bass?
You know, It tends to seems to be that way, but you know, I don't know. I mean, it just seems that, you know, the fish down here, they know what's going on.
They do, right? I mean, how do they know this stuff?
I have no idea. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, up here when we get a cold front, I get excited.
Yeah, they
Right.
eat
Usually
here.
bite really good.
They're so damn sensitive Sallies in Florida. It gets a little
Yeah.
cold in there, you know.
Right, and the bite windows here are so small. Like even when you're fishing spawning fish, which doesn't make sense, but there's still a window where those fish that are on beds will actually eat. And other times, I mean, you'll throw out them for days and never catch them.
Yeah.
You know, it's so weird.
It's like they only go to Publix and Winn-Dixie when they want to, right?
Right, that's it.
I mean, that's the deal. I threw a little Florida
Yeah.
grocery store reference
Yeah,
in there. Did
I
you
got
get that? See how I did that, John Cox?
Yeah.
I spent my time. I paid my dues.
Yeah.
I paid my dues, man. Hey, how do you like the FLW live?
I haven't got to watch any of it yet. You know, it seems really cool. I mean, it's a good way. You know, for instance, day 3, you know, I was fishing really, really shallow canals, and I had a lot of people following me, and it was really hard to turn around and
Sure.
and you know, and go back to fish because they were, you know, getting it all muddied up. You know, nothing was able to settle. And in a lot of those guys, what they did, they ended up saying, "Hey, we're going to let you go. We're just going to go out." And I mean, a lot of them just went out to the lake and they watched it on the live thing. And you know, that was it's an awesome deal that we're able to do that.
Do camera boats ever bother you?
You know, I try not to let them. I know they're trying to do their job, and I'm trying to do mine. So I just kind of let them get as much as they can, and you know, try to. I mean, it's just something you got to deal with, especially like when you're leading the tournament. You know, and you got drones flying everywhere, and you know, people running down the bank getting pictures. I mean, it's just something you got to deal with.
You're like, don't. There's a 7-pounder over there.
Yeah. I was like, I think he can feel you walking right above him. And they're like, oh, that's nonsense. Those are Florida fish. They're dumb.
Hey,
I had no idea.
Hey, I can't remember if I asked you this last time. I don't think I did, but you're a shallow water guy, and we know you've committed to fishing shallow. And I got to ask you, like, with all the technology over the last 10, 20 years and the electronics and whatnot, do you feel like the shallow bite is getting better because a lot of these guys are now out there just staring at their screens?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's getting better. I just think it splits us up a lot better, you know. Because a lot of guys are getting so good with their electronics that, you know, and even like Harris Chan, I mean, it was kind of one offshore, you know, fishing that clump of hydrilla. I mean, he caught a lot of his big ones out of that clump of hydrilla.
Right.
And, you know.
He dorched you.
Yeah,
yeah, Dorch.
He did. But yeah, I mean, I think it's dividing up. I mean, I actually this year I put on, you know, Lawrence has that 3D scan. I put that on there, and it was really neat. I mean, I could be idling in 3-4 feet of water and see the clumps, you know, 50 feet out both sides, you know, and actually see fish around them. And it worked great, and I caught some really good fish. But it just that kind of fishing is just not for me.
So,
you know?
I mean, I feel like it's kind of gone in reverse. Like, if you were doing this back, 20 years ago, everybody was on the bank.
Right,
you know, and then it's just like...
Yeah, this was everybody was doing it.
I feel like it's the best thing,
right,
to get people away from it.
It is, and there's a lot of guys, there's a few other guys that are doing, that have done it forever. I mean, Andy Morgan's kind of always done the whole shallow thing. There's a lot of them guys, have done it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed, I love to fish shallow too. So yeah, everybody.
He noticed.
Just keep coming out with those electronics and get everybody out there.
Do you still only have one Lawrence on the boat?
No, I have a 9 in the dash and a 7 up front.
Okay.
So but I pretty much just use the the mapping and stuff. I mean, I had all the transducers hooked up, and I was running them, and I just I think the way I fish is I'm so subtle. Like, I'll be going fast, but I'll kind of sneak up on a lot of these fish, and kind of when I get into the sweet area, I'm kind of more like, for instance, I put that Ultrex on the boat. Everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
With the anchoring and all that crap. And I was like, oh man, this thing's cool. But for me, as shallow as I'm fishing and I'm going and I'm moving that head, it's so loud compared to a cable driven one where it's just kind of, you can move the head and you can have the trolling motor nice and slow. It's because mine, I was just constantly like, and it's just kind of, it's just too much noise, too much going on. Same thing with like the transducers always sending signal
Always
and
pinging.
clicking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did
there's
you get
just-
rid of the
there's-
Ultrex? Is that gone?
Yeah, but went back to the Fortrex and I actually, it was funny. Usually I make it about 6 months, or 6 tournaments, and then I got to swap it out, like burn it up from running it so high. And and this last one I put on, I only made it 2 months, so I just got a new one in, and I'm hoping this one here will make it at least halfway through the season.
It better.
Yeah,
Because
I
you're
hope so.
grinding. We know you're churning it up, dude.
Oh yeah. It's I might have ran it a little too close to the ground this last tournament.
How fast can you go with that thing on high with that aluminum boat? You got to be
I can
hitting
go
like
about
5.
Almost 6 miles per hour.
Wow.
Nice.
So it's pushing a little ripple out. I mean,
You're
it's
making wake. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm fixing to put one. I have a PT18 with a 150. That's what I kind of use around here.
Okay.
And it has a 80 pound on there, but I'm fixing to put the 112 on there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm kind of excited to see how quick that one goes.
It's gonna boogie. It's gonna boogie.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know what you know about this show, but we play bass fishing game shows on here.
Wonderful.
Have you ever been on a game show, John Cox?
No, never.
You are about to be on one right now.
Oh man.
Are you ready? This one is called
I'm ready.
What's on Your Mind? What's on your mind? And I'm going to give you a word, and you tell me the first thing that pops in your mind. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to What's on Your Mind with FLW Tour superstar John Cox. I'm your host, Pat Renwick. John, the first word to you is barnacle. Barnacle, John.
Break off.
Break off. Barnacle,
Yeah.
break off. We're giving them that one. Bust out the vibrator. Bust out the vibrator.
Gotta go, guys.
That's a bladed jig. That's the bladed jig.
Oh, gosh.
Yes. Lay it on thick. Lay it on thick.
The Cox juice.
The Cox juice, absolutely,
The Cox
every
juice.
time.
Lay it on thick.
Every time.
This is getting weird.
Every time.
Yep.
We went from bust out the vibrator to the Cox juice. I don't know what happened. The next word is the haunting. The haunting.
Losing a fish.
Losing a fish kind of gets you, doesn't it? Knuckle sandwich. Knuckle sandwich.
What you want to give the guy that cuts you off?
What? Yeah, dude, I'm with. Hey, give me a web high five on that one, right there. We got that one. Get in the hot tub. Get in the hot tub.
Oh damn. I don't. Okay.
That's the correct answer, ladies and gentlemen. John Cox, you won.
Man.
You won, dude.
Man.
Yes.
Excited.
Yes. JP, tell him what he won.
Nothing.
You won nothing.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Thanks, guys.
Next Slurpee is on us.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
We'll wire you the money.
We're going to get you, dude. Hey, you got a pretty cool pond in your backyard, don't you, dude?
Oh yeah, man. I went out today and fed them a little bit. I had one real great big one in there. I was just growing them. I was feeding them like 10 bluegills a day. I'd catch a bluegill on a bread ball, and I'd hold him and I'd kind of wave him to him, and he would kind of come up right to the surface, and I'd just lob it to him.
Nice.
And
play catch with your pet.
Oh yeah, and I'm telling you, it was, my girlfriend will tell you, she gets mad because I'll go down there like twice a day to feed them. It's just like so, it's so relaxing and kind of just like
it's therapeutic.
Yeah, it's something about feeding them things and watching them eat. It's just it's really cool.
You're feeding the hogs.
So how big was it? Like how you said, a real big.
Oh, so that one, I was guessing it was like 13 or 14.
Oh.
And
whoa!
I think someone got her though.
Really, a poacher?
Yeah, we had some poachers after posting some of that stuff on Instagram.
Oh,
no.
And yeah, I think someone got. I felt like the old man coming out. There was like,
get out of my yard.
I knew there was someone back there, and some poor kids came down right after I knew someone was there the night before, and I was like, "Guys, what the hell are you doing?" And I got all upset. I was like, "Oh man, I'm that cranky old man."
Yeah, well, you gotta be. That's your pet. That would be like somebody
Yeah.
coming in and stealing your dog, dude.
And that's what I tried to tell them kids. They didn't understand it. I said, "Man, those fish follow my kids down the bank when they go to feed them." And I was like, "Man, it's like our pets." And,
Let's start a campaign
There's not much you can do, really. You can't put up a sign and say, hey, "Don't keep my 14-pound bass." That's not really going to keep people away.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think
I don't know.
We need to bring out the bass posse on these. We need to send the lynch mob out on these kids.
You need a surveillance.
These
system.
Instagram poachers. We will not have it. So it's like, is that where you go? Like if MHX Mudhole calls you up and or Crestliner and they say, John, we need a picture of you with a real choo choo snoogin fatty Magoo. I mean, you go out to the backyard.
I mean, I haven't. I always thought that'd be a possibility. I can't get myself to catch them. I mean, I let my kids catch them some, and but I usually I kind of get more like a lot of better like bait. Like if you got like a new bait or something, and someone's like, hey, I need a video of a bass, eating that bait. I mean, it's pretty easy to get a video of a bass choking a bait.
I just got a text. It's from JT Kenny, and he's the guy that caught the fish.
No, he didn't.
JT Kenny. He poached your bass. He saw it on Instagram.
Hey, he should have trophy catch that thing.
Yeah,
that's what I was waiting. I was waiting for it to pop up on trophy catch.
It was JT Kenny.
Wonker.
JT Kenny does photo shoots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he does. He's the Kenny Powers of bass fishing. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
He is. But it really was not JT Kenny. So
right.
just for the record, that's a true story that I just made up right now.
It was actually JP Kitty.
Yes, it was JP Kitty. Hey, what's the most dangerous, or I should say, who is the most dangerous FLW Tour Pro? Who's the most dangerous Tour Pro?
Of catching them is Thrift.
It's Thrift, right?
Yeah, well, he's the one when he's in the top 10. He's like the guy that he just always seems to catch them better and better as it goes on.
It does, right? It's almost scary, man.
Yeah. He just that's what he does.
And he just creeps up on you like a little leprechaun ninja,
Yep, that's it. I mean, I remember at the Cup. I mean, that's what when we came in the top 10. That was the guy. I was like, what? That's who I wanted to know. What did he have? And then I was going to add 4 pounds to
it. He's sandbagging you right there.
Oh yeah.
There's no doubt about it. Hey, let's play another game while I got you. I'm having fun.
All right, let's do it.
Are you having fun, John?
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is the deal. This is what we do. We have fun. Did you ever spend any time in the tavern or in the bar as a youngster?
A little, not too much.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. It could be be on the lake. It could be at the campground. It could be in the back of a pickup truck. It could be anywhere in there. But there used to be a game that used to be played. It's kind of an old drinking game, and it's called Marry Kill. Have you ever played that game?
No.
Yes. Yeah. I'll tell you. It's called Marry Kill. Wait. Let's try it again. It's called Marry Kill. Okay. But this one, I changed it, though. That was my censor beep. That was my censor.
I was wondering.
That was the internet censor, yeah. So basically, this we have a variation of this. So it's who you're going to fish with, who you marry, and who you're going to throw out of the boat. Okay? So here's the players. Here are the players. The first player in this game, who you're going to fish with, who you're going to marry, and who you're going to throw out of the boat. The first one, Roseanne Barr. Okay, she's one of your choices. You know who Roseanne Barr is, that big old gal?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that big gal. Kim Kardashian.
Right.
Kim Kardashian or Taylor Swift. Which one are you going to throw out of the boat? Which one would you marry? And which
Roseanne.
one? Roseanne's going out of the boat.
Right.
Okay. And who would you marry?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, and you're gonna go fishing with Kim Kardashian.
Yep, that's it.
But she's gonna tilt. She's gonna tilt that crest liner. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
You have to. You have
We'll
to
take the
distribute.
big one then for
yes,
that one.
you have to distribute the weight accordingly.
Yes.
You have to distribute it accordingly, man. hey, you're doing pretty decent. You had a rough start to the tournament year. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I Gunnersville, I had no idea what to expect. I mean, I'd never even been out of Florida. Earliest I've been out of Florida has been like middle of March, so I had no idea what to even. I knew through rattle trap and stuff. It just never worked out in that one, you know.
But you kind of did a little better on Travis.
Yeah, Travis. I think I caught the only. I didn't catch a limit either day, but I think I caught the only. I think I caught the only 8 fish that were on beds in that tournament.
Nice. Yeah. Speaking of bed fishing, go back to that a little bit. Tell me, or tell the viewers out there something that they might not know about bed fishing. Something about bed fishing that will help them put more fish in the boat.
The thing is, I think a lot of people overlook is that how. All these fish, they have different. It's almost like they have a different personality, or they're in a different phase of spawning. You know, when they pull up. You know, usually there's a couple different phases. You have like a first when they first get in there on the bed before they do any rubbing, and that's usually a lot of times where you'll see like a big female just locked. You know, and you'll see the buck, and the buck will be taken off, and she'll be. Or she'll be taken off, and the buck will it's kind of when they first get in there, and that's a window you can catch them.
Gotcha.
And then they start doing the rubbing thing. It's nearly, it's a little bit tougher then because then they don't, they got other things on their mind than to eat anything, when they're doing the rubbing and
sure.
And then that next window is when she's actually dropping the eggs that you could catch her. When she's dropping them and the male's fertilizing them. And then after that, when you have the male on their garden, you try to shake that male off and not catch that male, because if you catch that male, sometimes she'll just pack up and leave.
She gone.
Yeah. So that's when you got to kind of shake that male off. And, but once you learn all those different things, when you pull up and you see those fish and see how they act, you can read them quick and then it helps you catch them quicker.
Where I fish personally for bedding bass around here in the north, a lot of times you can't see the fish. But you know that they're bedding. And it seems like a lot of times that you will catch the male directly off of what I am assuming is the bed, but that female seems to be somewhere out in the perimeter.
Right.
Is that a common scenario where you can see them too? I mean, is that
right? Yeah. That's that stage. That's not like that final stage they go into where. And if it's something if it's early and they just got done laying them, that male, you'll pull him and she'll go right up on the bed and protect him. But if it's a day or so and those eggs are already, starting to turn into almost fry, when you catch that male, she'll go up, look at him one time, and just leave him for the bluegills.
Sayonara.
John, what's the if you're fishing beds, what's your number one go-to bait for the first cast in there? Like when you first see one, what's the first thing you're going to throw in there?
I guess it really depends. I mean, if it's open water, I like throwing a Senko on my spinning rod, and then if it's in a lot of stuff, I'll probably I'll either throw some braid with a crawl, or like braid with a beaver or something, with like a 3/16.
Any particular color you like better than any others?
I don't. A lot of people are always want to use white to see them eat it and all that, and I've just never been a fan of the white. Throwing white stuff on them. So I like my more green pumpkins or black and blue. Just kind of a more natural, darker colors.
The go-tos.
Right.
Hey, we had a conversation the other night that probably would have bored about 90% of our viewers. But how cool is it, man, for you to have a sponsor like Mudhole, where you basically have an entire catalog of rod blanks at your disposal, dude? I mean, it really the possibilities are endless with that, aren't they?
It really is. I mean, it's, I think about that every day, or, every time I go to build a new rod or something I'm going to test, it's like, it's just, it's amazing how, the sponsors I have, like you couldn't ask for any better ones.
Right.
Got an amazing, aluminum boat company, Crestliner. They will build like what I tell them I need, and they build it.
Nice.
And, and then with Mercury, it's, sometimes I wake up and I'm like, man, am I dreaming? Like, is this really?
This happened.
Yeah, I mean, it's happening. It's crazy, and just back on the rod build. The rod building is, even like today, I went and checked that blank out we were talking about.
Yeah.
And I found, I found so many similar to that one. And it's like, geez, it's like, there's so many I got to, want to try.
Are you speaking my
I'm
language,
excited.
though? Was I on the right channel?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I never even thought, taking a little bit off the tip there. And so, I mean, it's, there's so much to learn. And, I mean, it's just, with Mudhole, everything's endless. I mean, it's just endless what you can build and how you can keep tweaking things to to catch more fish, to do better,
Absolutely, and we're bass geeks, man, and that's what I love. That's what I love.
Yeah.
We're bass fishing freaks through and through, man, through and through. Hey, John, our producer Andy's telling us we're right up against the end here. You got any final words for your fans or your sponsors before we go?
No, I want to thank everybody that follows me and keeps up with me at these tournaments, and they, even when they send me the "you suck" text and catch some more damn fish and all that, I like that stuff, and don't suck at this next one, and I got to thank everybody for doing that and keeping up with me, and then I got to thank my sponsors and everything. I mean, they just, they've been there, for me every time I need them, and I mean, they just make amazing stuff, and we're going to be at the Classic. I think I'm flying out tomorrow, actually.
Nice.
We'll be at the Classic Friday through Sunday, and I'll be in the Mudhole booth, and I'll be in the Crestliner booth. Oh, and the Mercury booth.
There you go, John. You know what I love about you the most, dude.
What's that?
You're always smiling, man. You're always smiling.
How can I not? I mean,
that's right.
Hell, I'm going to go fishing in the morning before I jump on the airplane and head to Texas. So
that is the life, dude.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your success. We are very happy for you. Believe
Thanks,
that, and
guys.
thank you so much for the support that you show this show, man.
Oh man, anytime you guys got room for me, I'm there.
Awesome. Hey,
we ought to do it in studio one of these days.
Yeah,
when
for
I'm up
sure.
around that area.
Come on up.
Yeah, when we get Ike and Ellie money, we'll fly you out.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'll see you soon. I'll see you soon in your backyard.
Yeah, JP's poaching. He's poaching. Hey, dude, knock him out at Cumberland, man.
Thanks, man. I hope so.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that one.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. We will catch up with you.
man.
Safe travels.
Thanks,
Ladies and
guys.
gentlemen, that is Smiling John Cox right here on Straight Cast Outdoor Cartoon Television. That wraps up another episode. And dude, it just seemed like, boom, it just went like this, didn't it?
That was swift.
Wow. It was totally swift. Thank you so much to Jay Kumar. Thanks to Scott Martin. Thank you to John Cox. Thank you especially to all you viewers out there on straightcast.net and on the Facebook page and the YouTube. Thank you so much to our sponsors. Without them, this show would not be possible. And check us out, past episode on the YouTube and on the iTunes. Hey, next week is our off week.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's the Straight Cast Lollapalooza B-Side Circus Part 2 Electric 2 Breakin' Boogaloo that starts next week.
So look for that on Thursday next week.
Yeah, why not? Hey,
Yeah.
I'm Pat Renwick, Ryan Popcorn Whitaker, JP. Hi, Larry Kyleman's in the house, and Andy, the Ginger Ninja. We bid you farewell. We will catch you live again on April 5. See you then. Bass wishes.